We are now on lesson 4, using the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia. This is just a review. And by this time, you should have your notes, your BHS samples, and a link. For our objectives, we identify and describe the basic features found in any page of the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia. List and describe the common Masoretic and scribal notations, and so their possible implications to translation. What is the Masoretic text? The Hebrew text of the Old Testament is referred to as the Masoretic text, MT. It is based on the Masorah, the textual tradition of Jewish scholars. And the scholars who help preserve these textual traditions are called the Masoretes. The Hebrew text in the original form was without the verse and chapter numbers and divisions as we now have it. These were introduced from the 13th century onwards. For additional information on the BHS, I want you to visit biblicalculture.org, How to Use the BHS, Part 1, The Scholarly Apparatus. There are several editions to the Hebrew Bible. The Kittel Hebrew Bible, your BHK. This is the third edition of the Biblia Hebraica. It was edited by Rodolph Kittel and was based on the text of the Leningrad Codex B19A and an 11th century AD manuscript. The other one is the Biblia Hebraica Stuttgartensia, the BHS. This is what we are using now. The text of the BHS is a copy of the Leningrad Codex B19A that was also edited by Ellinger and Rodolph. This is called the critical edition as it comes with a critical apparatus at the bottom of each page. It contains the editor's notes on the variant readings along with their proposals. And the Biblia Hebraica Quinta, or your BHQ. This is the fifth and latest edition of the Biblia Hebraica, but the committee in charge of it is still working on it. The information in this includes the discoveries of the Dead Sea Scrolls. What can I usually find on any page of the BHS? Let's have a look at the page in the BHS. So you have your division markers. That includes your Suf Pasuk. It is a large colon that marks the end of a verse, and it's shaped as a diamond. Then we have your Petuka and Setuma. The Petuka. The Pei is an abbreviation for Petuka, open. The editors brought it back on the BHS to mark the beginning of a paragraph. Setuma. The Samek is an abbreviation for Setuma, close. The editors brought it back on the BHS to mark the end of a paragraph. We also have what you call your Sederim. This symbol divides the Hebrew Bible into 452 lessons. For instance, at the end of the Pentateuch, there are 167 Sederim. The Sederim were used as weekly liturgical readings or lessons which would cover the entire Pentateuch in about 3 years. This is found at the end of the Torah. The other division is the Masorah Marginalis, your Masoretic notes on the margins, including the Masorah Parva and then Masorah Magna. So your Masorah Parva, MP, small Masorah, refers to the notes in the side margins of the BHS. It is abbreviated as MP. These notes usually indicate the number of times a particular feature occurs. Then your Masorah Magna, MM, large Masorah, refers to the notes at the top bottom of the page. It is abbreviated as MM. These notes give the references where these features occur. We have also your textual apparatus. The textual apparatus is at the bottom of the text. It lists a number of selected variant readings. And your Masorah Finalis, Masoretic notations at the end of every Old Testament book or major divisions of the Old Testament text. For instance, the Torah has 167 Sederim and 5,845 verses. Let's now consider the Masoretic and scribal notations. Kitev Kirei. Kitev, that which is written. These are written but not read. Remember, Ketev comes from Katav, which means to write. These are the text variants that are represented by the consonants which are written, printed in the text. Kere, that which is read. These are read but not written. The symbol for kere is kof, and they are written on the margins. Let's look at some example on 2 Samuel 8:3 and then Exodus 32:19. So on 2 Samuel 8:3, you should have your sample BHS there for 2 Samuel 8:3. On the Keteb, what is written, what is on your text, on the written text are the vowel points. And on the Kere, what is written on the margin are basically your consonants. Taken together, basically this can be read as Perat or referring to the Euphrates River. Then we have another example in Exodus 32:19. So you have your Keteb, what is written is Miyadav. And then you have your Kere, this is what is to be read. And it has the yod there, making a difference with this one. So this one is from his hand, and then this one is from his hands. You also have your Hapax Legomenon. The symbol Lamed is an abbreviation for Loet, which means there is no other. This symbol then indicates that a word or group of words occurs only once in the Old Testament. This symbol must be taken with the circle above the words or above the word or words involved in the text. There are also special points or puncta extraordinaria. There are 15 passages in the Hebrew Bible that have special points over letters. These points indicate the text critical or dogmatic reservations of the scribes who did not dare alter the text. The advantage of these special points, they surface the ancient text critical problems. To have what you call your inverted nun, this is how it looks, and the Masoretes are saying that they're in doubt in terms of the sequence of the verses. Example would be your numbers 10:35 and 10:36. So should we reverse this verse? And the other one is your suspended nun. An example would be in Judges 18:30. So your Masoretic text is saying we'll have to read it as Menashe. The Latin, Vulgate, Septuagint, 3 to 10 medieval Hebrew manuscripts are saying it should actually be Moshe. So there's a difference between Menashe and then Moshe. Let's look at the text of 18:30. So the Danites set up for themselves the graven image, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, son of, is it Menashe or is it Moshe? He and his sons were the priests to the tribe of the Danites. So the Masoretes are saying that let's not associate Gershom or the Levite with Moses. So let's just put in the nun so that he is associated with Manasseh instead of Moses. Then your Tikkuni Sopherim, corrections and emendations of the scribes. The most is 18. The Sopherim were supposed to translate, but they do amend based on their contextual and theological understanding. And examples in Numbers 11:15, it's saying there, don't let me look on my evil. The Tikkuni Sopherim are saying, don't look me on your evil. This is transferring the problem from the Lord to Moses. And then your Iterei Sopherim, omissions of the scribe. These omissions are basically inconsequential as they're most likely the verb conjunctions. And sometimes these are not really necessary even as you do your translation. For your exercise, as you read Psalm 8, locate the following sections or symbols. Your textual apparatus, which part? Your Masura Magna, your Masura Parva, your Suf Pasuk, Petoka, and Setuma. This is your exercise for this lesson.